This is a response video to Laci Green. Thank you for making your video. It's red pill number 2 is a response video I'm doing. Sorry, I hope you don't mind if I smoke. I'm outside. Little bit of backstory on me. I'm by no means a highly visible anti-feminist or anything like that. I'm not an anti-feminist in general. And I certainly don't hate feminists. However, I have had issues with extreme feminists who are friends of mine in the past. I grew up in Northern California in the San Francisco area, so I have a extremely liberal base of friends from before the military. A lot of women who got this sort of liberal arts, underwater basket weaving feminist degrees and things like that. Nothing wrong with that, actually. And several of them that have gone into activism or stay in that realm at the very least in their own profession. I did want to talk about one specific incident. I do look through things as the lens of a veteran. When Donald Trump got elected, that was the really interesting one for me. On Facebook, I had a friend who was really distraught, and I said something that's like it's not that big of a deal. You know, he's just the president. People think he has more power than he has. He has a lot of power. But like not the power to repeal gay marriage. He physically doesn't have that ability. The Supreme Court has that ability, was my point. And she blasted me with this, you don't understand because you're a white male. I'm a veteran. And I'm still in the military until 2019. So this guy decides whether or not I go to another country. He doesn't need anyone's permission to do that. And when I explained that, she threw like mansplaining at me. Like I don't... And literally said like it matters more to me than it does to you. Because I'm a woman and you're a guy and there's no way for you to possibly understand that. That's what really got me into looking into the flaws of feminism. That's why I consider myself egalitarian and why I go out of my way to call myself egalitarian and not feminist. Feminism is supposed to be about equality, and I think it is. However, the name feminist includes the premise, female, feminine, you know what I mean? Feminist includes the premise that women are uniquely oppressed in society. Whereas egalitarian doesn't include the premise that anyone is uniquely oppressed. And that was my issue. That's why I don't like feminism in general. At least the name or the term, or why I mistrust the term feminist, is because it includes that premise. And in my life, I have not seen that. Women have controlled the majority of the voting power in the United States for about 25 years. They make up 5% of combat-related deaths, 5% of work-related deaths, 5% of combat-related deaths since World War II. It goes up to like 2. It goes down to like 2% before that, but that's sort of not relevant. Well, they do earn less money. Yes, you know there are definitely points in our society where women are oppressed, but they make 80% of domestic purchases, so they have 4 times as much money as a guy at the register. Sort of issues like that really caught my fancy, and that's the thing. And so, if feminist includes the premise that women are uniquely oppressed, then I'm not feminist because I don't accept that premise. And I've been attacked for saying I disagree with feminism or I'm not feminism, and I usually have to explain myself. And I've been called all sorts of funny things. A friend of mine on Facebook, his dad blocked me. I wasn't even friends with his dad, but his dad blocked me and said I should get punched in the face. After the whole, like, hey, let's not punch people in the face thing with the Nazis arguing on Facebook. But it's generally both extremes that I disagree with. I think that, I don't know all their names, but like the Satirician, I think is one of them. I don't know. And like Bearing and some of them can get really toxic on YouTube. Not always. Just like, you know, Anita Sarkeesian could spit truth every once in a while. Like, she could spit raw truth. But a lot of times she's also really toxic because she's someone outside of a community that's bashing that community. Doesn't really know what she's talking about a lot of the time. And if you're a video gamer, you understand that Anita Sarkeesian is not a video gamer. That becomes violently clear from watching her videos pretty quickly. And she's gone on to say as much. But occasionally, like I said, she spits raw truth. Just like occasionally Bering will spit raw truth. But they will also both go to the extremes where they're just not doing any good, or they can't see the flaw in their own argument, and they have no desire to see the flaw in their own argument. They have this bad confirmation bias. Sorry. But going back to like the roots of liberalism, the idea that everyone is unique, so everyone should be basically left the fuck alone to handle their own problems. That is usually where I end up in what would be called like classical liberalism, or for me personally, libertarianism, and egalitarianism. You know, don't treat anyone different under the eyes of the law. And everything is either okay or it's not okay. So if you can like stop someone for, say, the gay wedding cake thing, if you say, well, you have to make a cake for their wedding, even though you don't believe in their religion, because you can't discriminate them based on sexual preference, then that same rule applies if a gay person doesn't want to make a cake for a straight wedding. Same exact concept. As long as it goes both ways, I'm fine with it. What I don't want is creating a protected class. That's what I'm terrified of, because I'm uniquely afraid of authoritarianism. I understand the government has a monopoly on violence, and so every law is at the end of the day backed up by a gun. And so I'm scared of any law that can be abused, because we are surrounded by so many laws right now that are being abused. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. Thanks for making the video. I'm very happy to see this journey you're going on. Really interested to see where you end up. Good luck, and thanks for listening.